or I'm excited for it. And that is my first time reading Cassandra Clare. So if you saw from my little montage that I've done at the beginning, I went for a little trip around town today and I tried Waterstones and they had it, but it was $8.99 for a book. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not expecting to enjoy this book because sounds bad. We should always be positive when going into a book. But it sounds like, to me, a lot of people love this book because of nostalgic reasons. They read it when they were in their teens. It was like one of the first fantasy books they read. And then as the books developed and as the series get on, the later series of them are better than the original City of Bones Immortal Instrument series. So I'm not expecting to really enjoy it. But I do want to read those later books because people do love them. So I kind of need to get the basis out of the way. So what better to do this than force myself to do it because I'm filming it. Great. But yeah, so I went to Waterstones, they had it, but it was $8.99 or $9.99 and I was like, that's quite a lot of money to spend on a book that I don't think I'm going to enjoy. So I said, sorry Waterstones, I want to buy a book but I don't want to buy your book. So I left and I went to the library and they said online that they had one. I was like, great, I'll get it for free. Booyah, love it. Got there, couldn't find it on the shelves, looked everywhere it could possibly be. Finally gave up and went to the till and was like, where is this book? You say you have it. And then they look it up and they're like, oh no, sorry, it's like super overdue. You're probably not going to get it back. You're probably best to find it. They have like a free ebook thing that you can buy. And I was like, yeah, I could do that, but I don't really like reading on an ebook just because I don't like reading on a screen. I have to do that quite a lot for uni because a lot of what they give us are free resources online and I just, yeah, it makes my eyes go cross-eyed. So I didn't really fancy doing that. So I looked up online as I was walking from town feeling very disheartened because I wanted to make this video. I looked up online, I think maybe I could get it for like £7 or something on Book Depository and that's, you know, that's okay. But I looked up and I was like absolutely amazed. This is absolute madness. I managed to get the entire set for £15. Can we just appreciate that? For £15. 6 books for £15. Like, absolute madness. I don't even know what to say. Absolute madness. So I now have the entire set. So I better like it. I don't know if this is a credit to the works and their, or did I say, I don't know if I said I got it in the works, but I got it in the works. So I don't know if this is the credit to the works and their amazing discounts, or to discredit the series that it's actually now so not good that it's only worth £15 for all of them, but we'll have to see. I hope it's not. I hope it is generally good. So we have the whole set. I'll probably only read the first one in this vlog because then it would be very long I think to get 6 books in, and like it would probably start in January of 2020 and finish in January of 2021 because let's face it, I'm a slow reader. Shall I open it? Let's open it. I can't open it. The scissors are out. Postman just gave me a very weird look. The box it is in is a bit unsturdy. Sturdy, is that a word? Unsteady. Got a picture on the back. Don't know who that is yet. We shall see. Another one on the side. And another one on the side. Got City of Bones, obviously, because that's the one we want to read. City of Ashes. City of Glass. City of Fallen Angels. City of Lost Souls. City of Heavenly Fire. I'm excited now. I love a good deal, and I love a good deal when it includes books. They're like my little babies on my lap now. I don't know if you can probably see, but you probably can't. So yeah, so we'll be starting with this one. I shall start reading it, and I shall let you know how it goes. And I like that it's like the ones, you know, it has the little thing that matches up. So like if I hold it, I should have done this in the box. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. They don't feel as good quality as the like proper ones that you bought in Waterstones, but you know, who cares? They're like £2 a book. For those that don't know, I think many people do know. Actually, I have no idea. I just know that it's about like demons and stuff. Let's have a look. Clare Frey is seeing things. Vampires in Brooklyn and werewolves in Manhattan. Irresistibly drawn to the shadow hunters, a secret cadre of warriors dedicated to ridding the world of demons. There you go, demons. Clare encounters a dark side of New York City and the dangers of forbidden love. You know what, I actually think I'm going to quite enjoy this. This is the kind of book that I used to read loads when I was little, and I kind of haven't really indulged in that kind of side of things recently. So actually I reckon I'm probably going to like this. It'll be a nice break from uni stuff, won't it? Because it won't be hard and heavy. I think I'm going to quite enjoy it. We shall see. Okay, so it's been a little bit of a while since I last saw you, not gonna lie. It's been nearly 2 weeks now, and that's mainly because I didn't get a chance to read City of Bones till last weekend, just because the week before I had essays due, so it was a stressful time, a tiring time, and sadly not a reading time. So I did want to come up and give you a little update. I have made quite a big dent. I'm about 375 pages in. It's only 500 pages long, so I am about like that far through. So not long left. It's about 135 pages left, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get that done today and get it all ticked off, because I do kind of just want to finish it now. But I do have a few things to say that I've thought all the way through the process, so I know I haven't been updating you maybe as regularly as I wanted to, but I do have an update for you. So the first thing I have to say is that it's kind of definitely the genre that I would have read when I was 15 or 13 or 14, kind of between that age group. And the main reason that I think that is because the kind of feel that I get from it is the same feel that I used to get when reading Vampire Academy and that kind of thing. It has quite a similar atmosphere, I think. I don't really know. I did read those books obviously when I was 15 as well, so it was a long time ago, like half a decade ago, that I read those books. So I'm not entirely sure if that's a good recommendation or a good comparison, but that's the kind of feel that I'm getting whilst reading it. And all the main characters are 15 in this, so I feel like you'd get a much better connection to them if you were the same age, whereas being a little bit older than that, it just feels a little bit like they are a bunch of teenagers that I'm reading about. So like, I know that's the point, like it is a YA novel, but it's a YA novel, like young adult novel, like teen. So 13, 14. So one thing I will have to say for this is that it seems a little bit like a hormonal mess. Everyone in this seems to fancy everyone else. Like you've got Jace liking Clary, Clary liking Jace but also kind of liking Simon, Simon liking Clary and Simon liking Isabel, and Isabel likes Simon but she's apparently a bit of a flirt, so you know, don't get too caught up in that relationship. And then Alec likes Jace, and then it's also everyone likes everyone, and it does just seem like a bit of a hormonal medley, bit of a hormonal mess in a book. So there you go, teenage hormonal mess in this book, a little bit, or a lot actually. And I'm not fully on board with the main romance, which I'm pretty sure is between Clary and Jace. So Jace is not like that nice of a person, like he says quite mean stuff, and he's confusing because he can joke and can be really funny, and he's actually one of the funniest characters in here, but he's also really mean all the time. Like he always says horrible stuff about Clary's best friend Simon, and a lot of the time I'm just like, why are you not sticking up for him, Clary? Like she just kind of lets it go, and it's just like, I don't know why you like him back. She does like him back, and I'm just like, why? He's really horrible to your best friend of 10 years. You've known him for like a week. It just doesn't quite fit for me. I feel like he has potential to be a good character, to grow and be that kind of negative, broody person and then grow to be a better one, because he has got quite a negative past. But I do think that character development needed to happen before Clary got interested in him in that romantic sense, because otherwise it's just like falling in love with the broody, horrible person. And I'm all for the broody male character romance thing. Like, I will read that, it's fine, I do get it, I get on board with it, I like it sometimes, but they have to kind of reflect on that broodiness and their negativity and their horrible comments. They have to see them as negative. Whereas Jace doesn't seem apologetic for what he says, he doesn't seem that bothered by it, the fact that he keeps upsetting people, and the fact that Clary doesn't seem that bothered by it. Like, I have to say, she doesn't seem like the bestest of friends. Yeah, she did that whole vampire werewolf saving thing. If you know, you know. But if you don't, it's fine. You'll find out if you read it. So yeah, she did do that. But apart from that, she doesn't seem that good of a friend to Simon anyway. Because she kind of ignores him all the time. At the very start, she like just ran off and abandoned him and didn't remember him for like a day. And like again, like she does it all the time. She constantly forgets about him. She constantly doesn't really listen to what he's saying and brushes aside his comments and stuff like that, and is always kind of flitting between her and Jace, and it's just like, you've known Jace for 5 seconds, mate. You've known Simon for 10 years. That could all change in the next 5 million books that there is in this series and this world. So those are kind of like my main problems that I have with it at the moment. But apart from that, it is quite funny. So actually, like, this is the part of the Clary and Jace's relationship that I can get on board with, is they do seem to have quite a good banterous relationship. Like, they have quite good chemistry in that sense, and there is lots of like kind of, I would say, different between like taking the mick out of someone and actually nasty comments, and they seem to have like the more they're taking mick out of each other and kind of the back and forth funny verbal thing going on that is actually quite funny and entertaining to read, and that's the kind of thing in these books that I like. Like, I like the friendships, I like the comradeship of big groups, and there's 5 of them in this that aren't really friends, but I'm hoping that they will be. Like, I wish Clary and Isabel got on a bit better, because I feel like that would be more fun than them just taking swipes at each other, just because they are the only 2 female characters in it, and I like female friendships in it that don't just push each other down. Like, they've got this weird jealousy thing going on, I think, where it just seems weird. Like, Simon and Isabel, well, Simon apparently flirted with Isabel because he wanted to make Clary jealous, which is kind of obvious from the start, so I don't think that's a spoiler. But Clary also found it annoying that he was doing that, or she was like not happy that he was doing that. But then as soon as Simon, like, she realised Simon wasn't actually in love with her, she was like, oh, the reason I must have been ignoring it this whole time was because I didn't actually like him. But then why was she getting jealous when he was trying to flirt with Isabel? And apparently Isabel just flirts with everyone, so don't know about that, but there you go. They're only 15, like, who flirts with everyone when they're 15? But yeah, so I kind of wish Isabel and Clary had a better friendship, but I do like Jace and Clary's friendship when he's not being horrible all the time. And it is quite fast plot moving. It's not very complex, so it's easy to follow. I can't imagine there being many plot twists to come, because so far all the plot twists I've seen coming, and I think I know what the main plot twist is gonna be. I knew it like way early on. Like, there's a bit, like a dramatic bit where they reveal who Clary's mother was married to, and they're like, oh my god, and it's like, did you not see that coming? It was like very obvious. But I don't know, maybe it was meant to be obvious. That's my thoughts at the moment. I need to stop waving this around, it's getting annoying. Yes, so 135 pages left to read. Hopefully I will finish it tonight. I just got a little bit of uni work to do, and then I'll just read all afternoon. So hopefully I can finish it and then move on to something else. But I do think that I will continue with the series, just because I do want to read those later books. Like, I know Cassandra Clare is a well-loved author. I can tell she has a lot of potential. I'm assuming this was her first book ever published, and I think it's harsh to accept a debut novel to be like exceptional. I am interested in reading the rest of them. I maybe will take them a little bit slower just as I go, but I obviously have the entire series. You can't probably see, but I do have the entire series now, as I mentioned at the start, so I will finish the series unless the ending is really bad, but I don't think it will be. I'm sure I would have loved this a lot more when I was 15 and kind of in that cheesy romance thing of that age. Okay, so I finished City of Bones, and I was not expecting the incest. That threw me. That threw me, the incest aspect to it. I mean, it's not incest as in like full blown they did it and stuff, but there's some elements of it in there. So that was a plot twist that I didn't expect. And I know I said that I didn't think there was going to be many plot twists coming, but then that happened and I was like, oh, okay. Was not expecting that. So, you know, kudos to Cassandra Clare, she got me there. She got me there. There were a few that I did get that I don't know if they were meant to be plot twists, because obviously I guessed them, and I'm not very good at guessing plot twists, so I'm guessing they weren't, and they were maybe just like decoys for us to be like, oh yeah, I got the ending, and then you did it because of the whole other incest side of it. I keep saying incest. It's not that bad. Like, they didn't know that it was. So, you know. It did seem to kind of sort out all the hormonal teenage angst going on in the book, because after that kind of revelation, it kind of everything cooled down. So that's a good thing, I suppose. We'll see if it builds back up again in the next book. So I did actually quite enjoy it. I think the ending was actually quite good. There were like even the bits that I kind of knew were happening, like the Hodge thing, I figured that out. If you know, you know. And even though I knew that was going to happen, I was still quite tense reading it, and I was still quite involved in it. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen, just want to skip over this bit now. I still wanted to find out what actually was happening, so that was fun. And the Luke thing, didn't see the Luke thing coming, so that was also a surprise, which was good. I did guess who Clary's real father was going to be, but then again, the incest thing kind of threw me there. But I'm trying not to say things without giving it away, because in case you haven't read it, I don't want it to be completely spoiled for you. But if you have read it, it would be nice to talk about it. So we're in a middling conversation here. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars, just because I think I would have liked it a lot more if I was younger. And I know I would have liked it when I was younger. And I didn't dislike it as much as what I give my 3-star ratings. So I'd either have to lower all of them to 2 stars to give this a 3-star, or give this a 4-star. But it's quite a low 4-star. So I think I need to sort out my star ratings, because I can't, like, there's not enough stars in the star rating, and I can't accurately rate things, I feel like. But that's a different discussion for another day. So this is a 4-star read. I do want to carry on the series, I do want to keep reading it. The next one's quite short, so I might actually try and get to it quite soon. Or not short, it's 400 pages instead of 500, so that's a whole day less of reading. I do like the world. The world is quite interesting. I think it's maybe a little bit done now, but I think that's because obviously this was published when? This was first published in 2007 in the UK, so it's quite old now. That's over a decade old. Obviously then, maybe the kind of tropes that are in it weren't that done, I suppose, whereas now they are, because this was quite, I suppose, influential. Like, it meant a lot to a lot of people, and I'm interested to see how it goes. I want to read the Clockwork Angel series, and I want to read her other series, like the Lady Midnight series, so I will be powering through with the other ones. But when that will be, I don't know. I think reading it now, would I recommend reading it now? I don't know, because it is quite a lot to read to get into just to read those last books. I will be sorely disappointed, I think, if I read all these books and the last books aren't that great, or I don't like them that much. But I do quite like Cassandra Clare's writing. Like, it's quite easy to follow, it's quite simple, it's not that wishy-washy. There's not like that many sentences that are in it that you're kind of like, oh, that was bad writing, or that kind of pulled me out of the story. Like, you're still quite engaged with the story throughout it all, which I think is, you know, the mark of a good writer. If they can keep you engaged the whole time. That sun is really annoying me. It's like blinding me, but it keeps like going in and out, so sorry about that. But if a writer can keep you engaged for an entire 500 pages, then they did okay. Whether or not I think if this was published now, I would give it the same credit, probably not. Because it's 10 years later, books have changed, people's tastes have changed, phases of book reading has changed, but I do want to keep going. So that's a good thing. One thing I am interested in, they have characters on each of the books, and there's 6 books, so there's 6 different characters on the back of these books. There's only 5 that we've met so far. We've only met Simon, who's not even a shadow hunter, so I don't know if he's even one of these people. Clare, Isabel, Jace and Alec, and I assume Jace is the blonde one, because it's very obvious that he's blonde, because they go on about his blonde hair all the time. And then I'm assuming Simon's the one with the bow and arrow, because he was the one that did the bow and arrow in this book, but I don't know. And then there's another bloke, and then obviously there's Clare, and then there's Isabel. So I don't know who this other bloke is, because we haven't met him yet. Or if we have met him, he's not a key part of the story yet. But I think this Bane person will be a bigger part, because obviously there is a book about him, or the Bane Chronicles. So, and he seems to have a thing with one of them. So we'll see how that develops. So yeah, I am interested in the characters now. I do want to get to know the characters more. I want to find out what happens to them. And I'm not going to lie, the romance does interest me a little bit, just because it's gone a bit weird with the whole thing that I mentioned. So interesting, intrigued. We are intrigued. I hope that just because Clare can't get with the person that she wants to get with, she doesn't just go and settle for the other person, and actually someone new is introduced, because I feel like that would just be sad, and like that other person deserves a little bit better. But I have no idea if that was actually like comprehensible at all, unless you've read it. So even if you've read it, maybe it wasn't comprehensible. But there we go. Fingers crossed. It's looking up. It's looking up. I've enjoyed it. I don't feel like I wasted my time reading this. I don't think that at all. So it was definitely worth my time reading it, and I'm glad that I've started this series now, and that I've kind of know about this world, because it is so talked about and loved, and like people have like tattoos of their shadow hunter things, and you know, it's a world that I'm quite interested in, and it does sound cool. Like, people that kill demons and you can't even see the demons, so like it is realistic. Like, there could be demons everywhere and we wouldn't know. So this could be real, like there is a method to it as to why we can't see it. It's not just like, oh yeah, this is your real world, but actually there's demons that you don't know about, but you could know about them if you were clever enough. So it's not like it's insulting my intelligence. It's the fact that I just don't have magical abilities that I can't see in. So yeah, 4 stars. I think I'm going to leave my rambling then, because I feel like I've gone a bit weird and rambled about strange stuff. So I'm going to stop that there. I do like it. Let me know if you've read this and what you think, if it's like a favourite of yours, and when you read it. Let me know when you read it, because I'd be interested to see if there's people that have read it now, kind of at an older age, and still enjoyed it a lot more, or if you read this when you were like 15 like the characters and that's why you love it, like it has a nostalgic reason, because I do think that would factor in quite a lot for me. So things like Red Queen, I feel like for me, if I went back and read them now, I maybe wouldn't get as much, but because it was one of my first fantasies I've ever read, it was when I read it when I was 15 or 16, like I fell in love with that book as a kind of a pinnacle moment in my reading experience. So that's probably what I feel like this book will be for a lot of people. But I still enjoyed it, and it was a bloody bargain. We have now 6 more books on the shelf that we didn't need, but we got them anyway. So I've got to get reading. So thank you for watching this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope my experience helped people or was interesting to watch. I don't know. And do let me know if this is one of your favourites in the comments below, because I'd like to know. It would be interesting. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.